everybody, welcome to Smell What's Cooking. Today we're going to be making a no-knead bread. A lot of my friends love my bread. I like to bring it with me when I go out, or if I have people over, I have a loaf of bread. And I love doing it, but I do it all the time in my stand mixer. And or I'll do it by hand, but not everybody has a stand mixer, so let me try to show you how to do a nice, easy way that this involves very little labor. Only downside, it takes a little bit of time. It's going to take you got to plan almost a day in advance, but here we go. No knead bread. Check it out. Okay, the ingredients for this are exceptionally simple. We're going to take 4 cups of bread flour. You can use all-purpose flour just the same. A 1/4 teaspoon of yeast, active dry yeast or instant yeast, both will work just fine. And if you're wondering, the stuff that comes in the little packet is active dry yeast. I have a 1.5 teaspoons of salt, and I'm just going to add about a tablespoon of olive oil. Don't have to be too precise on that. Then we're going to add 2 cups of warm water. Now, a lot of times we would have this be like pretty warm, like 105 degrees, but we're not really overly concerned about waking up this yeast right away. Because this is going to go for a long time. So I'm just going to give this a stir with my dry. Now I'm going to bring in my water. And we're going to work on it. And this is going to be a soupy mess. And eventually, we're going to bring it together into a sticky mess. It's going to resemble more of a batter than it does a dough. Once you have all your water incorporated into this big sticky mess, you're done. So we're going to have this into one mass here. And as you can see, it is sticky. We're going to cover it in foil and let it rise until it's double in size. This will take about 18 hours. So nice and well covered, and just let it sit out at room temperature. And I'll show you what it looks like tomorrow. Alright, welcome back. It's been about 18 hours and my dough is ready to rock. So we're going to unwrap it and see it's ballooned in this huge, bubbly, sticky mess. Now we're going to continue to use a spatula here, and we're just going to knock this down by folding it on itself. and it's going to continue to be extremely sticky. But if you just kind of fold it and roll it over onto itself, alright, so now we need to work this into a shape. I'm going to generously flour my work surface. And I'm going to grab my cutter here and grab about half of it. So now I'm just going to place it on here and just kind of pat it out, making sure my hands have a good coating of flour on them too. And make it nice and long. It's going to be irregular, and that's fine. And once you have that, I have my cookie sheet. Now, if we did this as one loaf, you would need like a great big sheet, like a half sheet pan. But the cookie sheets most of us have at home are quarter sheets, and I want this to be something that everyone can do. So I'm going to make 2 smaller ones instead. And you just take this and flop it on your cookie sheet. We have cornmeal dusted on there. And then we are going to take some more flour and generously dust the top of this. Then place a dry cloth on top of it and let it rise for another 2 hours. I'm going to repeat the process with my other half. Okay, so here we are. Our dough has risen again. Now this kind of dough, it kind of rises out more than it rises up, but we're going to get a good amount of oven spring in the oven. And that's where a lot of that's going to come from. So we have our 2 loaves. They have gotten some rise to them. And we're going to put them in a 425 oven. And once again, we've hardly touched these things. We've let the yeast do all the work. I can see all kinds of air bubbles in here. This is going to be neat. About 20-25 minutes. All right, so out of the oven it comes. I told you it would poof up. Look at that. And we are going to let this cool completely. All right, so let's see what we got. We got our loaf of ciabatta bread here. Nice crust to it. Let's see what it looks like. There we go. Look at that great crumb and texture. Really, really nice. And there was nothing there you couldn't do. And we did this just with a bowl and a spatula. You can do this. You can do this. So, ciabatta bread. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy.